Hello, it's Philip Taylor speaking from Richmond Green Chambers in London. Today I'm looking at a book which has come to us from Edward Elgar Publishing in Cheltenham. They're an independent publishers. They provide us with some really sound books, really first-class works of scholarship, and are very useful for both the academic community and practitioners. This one is another specialist area. I've found the book of immense interest having looked at it. It's called The Law and Practice of Trademark Transactions, a Global and Local Outlook, been edited by Irene Calboli and Jacques de Weera. And it's part of the Elgar Intellectual Property Law and Practice series. Elizabeth and I talked about the book. Obviously the review will hopefully appear in the journals and on the web. We've given the title the following: a comprehensive analysis of the law looking at trademark transactions in a variety of business and legal contexts. And that's exactly what you're getting. Let's have a look at the book first of all. There it is. There's the front, there's the spine, and then there's the back. It's a heavy book and it's a hardback. Nice blue cover, and the actual 600 pages, that's the index. You see it's paragraph numbered, so you find them by paragraphs, and then they're quite a detailed index, which I'm pleased to. Very much the house style again of Elgar. There's the index starting there. Then you can see the paragraph numbering, and as we get into the book you can see a few tables and figures and so forth. Lots of footnoting. If we go to the front of the book, there we go. There's the actual first front page, and that's the actual series, Elgar's Intellectual Property Law and Practice series. Building up nicely at the moment. If you want it from the Elgar online side, the information is there. This book, of course, is available as both an e-book and what is called a cased or hardback version. Then you've got parts and sections. So it's structured in, there are 23 what I call chapters, and there are actually two specific parts which are split into trademark transactions in the global marketplace and then trademark transactions in regional and national level. So you've got a variety of different. Then you've got an extended table of contents to find things, again by paragraph numbering. Then after that you've got the figures, quite a lot of examples, and then you've got the tables that are also there. Then after that you've got the list of contributors. A lot of people involved. It's been edited by two people who also appear in it, but a lot of people. I can't go through all the names unfortunately, but it's an erudite work without any question. Then after that you've got a foreword by Robin Jacob, which is worth reading, and I will quote a little bit of what he said. Then you've got the introduction itself, and then you get into the book. And what you do have in the book is you have a nice little index at the front of each main chapter, which tells you what's in it. So you should be able to find things pretty quickly. And as I say, this is not a book which is for a beginner. You need to have some background knowledge of trademark law, if I can call it that. But it's obviously it's IP in its much more general sense. And this is very much, there's a lot of money involved in it. It's an important part of the commercial work that we do. And when we look at the book and we get some idea of its value, we're always reminded, of course, of the extensive portfolio of works which Elgar have produced for us. They do make our lives easier, and I'm very grateful to all the people involved for the work that they actually expend on our behalf producing these titles. This is what we say about the book. Sir Robin Jacobs says in his foreword to this, what is called a compelling work, that if you think about it, you will realise that intellectual property really has three important divisions or foundations: substantive law, procedural law, and transactional law. And as the subtitle explains, it has a global and local outlook, and that really is the theme running all the way through the book. It examines the law and practice of trademark transactions, which are identified from a range of jurisdictional and cross-border perspectives, and readers gain an understanding of its many facets, I think, as a result. And I do think this is another example of a book where we are now looking not just at the shores of Britain and where one bit of law ends, but we're now looking at the global concepts of where we are today with the internet and with all the things that we get up to. And no man, to use the phrase, is an island anymore. And I do think it's very important to recognise the reality and the practicality of where we are with this area of legal expertise and action and all the other areas, because they are today very important. Now, there are 28 contributors to this work, and the two editors, that's Professors Irene Calboli and Jacques de Wera, once they've introduced the international legal framework as applicable to trademark transactions, go on to offer a highly useful analysis of the most important strategic considerations which practitioners, advisors, scholars, consultants, whatever, will find of great value in what is a specialist area of IP law and practice. And I think Jacob is actually putting the book on his university reading list, quite right too. Now, the content of the work, and that's taken really from what's actually on the back of the book and in the blurb, is that the following matters cover interest to IP lawyers. That includes tax strategies, valuation, portfolio splitting, registration of security interests, choice of law clauses, very important of course, trademark coexistence agreements, and dispute resolution mechanisms. Again, the last one, inevitable in this day and age, I would have thought. The main features of the book give the reader a comprehensive overview of legal and policy related issues, and there is a most interesting blend of what the editors describe delightfully as approaches underpinning strategic considerations with analytical rigour, which I thought was rather an interesting quote. In addition, and to be expected, there's excellent regional coverage of the key characteristics of trademark transactions in a range of jurisdictions, and the contributors offer scholastic authorship from renowned trademark experts, giving us just what Elgar publications always give us, which is very high quality legal discussion throughout. And we consider that those advising trademark owners, including trademark attorneys, will find this book to be an invaluable resource for their practice, both here of course and overseas, particularly where cross-border issues arise, and that is going to grow as the years lengthen, because clearly that is what is going to happen in the foreseeable future as we become very much the global community. It's not going to change, so let's get in where the action is. It will become quickly established, we think, this book as a key reference point for scholars working in the field as well. The two editors have constructed a comprehensive look at trademark transactions throughout the world, which we think will benefit a wide readership. And it's clearly an essential work of reference for specialists in international trademark law and for all who need to understand more about laws other than their own particular fields of expertise. So it is really sort of broadening one's horizons a bit. And it also contains ideal information for those involved in commercial transactions involving trademarks, especially across borders, which have received basically scant in-depth attention in legal literature. And you've got insights from the emerging markets, for instance in Brazil, China and India, to the EU itself and the USA via Australia and Japan. So the book deals with its multifarious aspects, I think, very well indeed. The reader will finish it not only with their knowledge greatly enhanced, that's what they claim in the blurb, and they're right, but convinced that, at least in this field, the world most certainly is not flat. And I thought that quote was well worth putting in. Let me conclude by just saying that other commentators have described this work as an incisive must-have book for every practitioner or scholar who is serious about trademark transactions. Well said. Again, the quotes are readily available to see. And that, of course, is exactly what you're getting here. And what you get, obviously, with a lot of books now produced by Elgar. So you do need it for your professional IP library. The publication date is cited at 2016. Again, as I say, the Elgar Intellectual Property Law and Practice series are an important contribution to anybody involved in IP itself and all of what I would describe as the peripheral areas. I've quoted a little bit from some of the excellent commentaries, but the book itself I think is good. It's a heavy book, nice paper. This is all on ADR. Now ADR, again, I have mixed feelings, and frankly I do think the jury is out to a certain extent on ADR. It does work in some cases, but with a lot of my clients, there's no way you're getting ADR on anything. They're never going to give in. Now, chapter 21, Japanese perspectives on trademark transactions. Again, an important area, because what I said, I think the value of the book is the fact that it's global and local outlook. So you've got both. And I think the merging of the two offers us as practitioners and scholars a great insight, which we would be, would be sad if we hadn't had. So thank you very much to Elgar, all involved in this book and its publication. We can't do without this sort of work to help us with our practice. So thank you. Bye-bye.